The front office is moving with startling speed. We are seeing a complete recalibration of the roster that few saw coming this quickly. From major acquisitions to shocking exits and a massive shift in the salary cap landscape, the organization is clearly pushing all its chips to the center of the table. If you are as passionate about this team as I am, you know these moments define a franchise for years to come. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers to stay locked in.
The organizational shift within the building is palpable, and it starts with the aggressive pursuit of talent that we witnessed on March 11. When we look at the acquisitions of Kenny Pickett, Luke Fortner, and Stone Forsythe, alongside the retention of a Caleb Evans, we are seeing a specific vision from the front office. This is not just about filling holes, it is about establishing a new baseline of competition. Kenny Pickett represents the most intriguing piece of this puzzle. Bringing in a quarterback with his level of experience, even in a developmental or support capacity, changes the dynamic of the entire room. I have spoken to folks inside the building who believe this move is designed to inject a sense of urgency into the offensive scheme. It is clear the brass felt that the status quo was simply no longer sustainable. We are looking at a roster that is being completely gutted and rebuilt in real time. Luke Fortner provides that interior stability we have been screaming for, and bringing in Stone Forsythe is a clear indication that the team is prioritizing depth in the trenches. These are calculated risks. You do not just sign these caliber players without a long-term plan to integrate them into a winning culture. The re-signing of a Caleb Evans suggests there is a desire to keep some continuity, but the reality is that the new faces are going to be expected to contribute immediately. The fans have been clamoring for a change in philosophy, and the front office has certainly delivered that today. However, the excitement of these new arrivals is being tempered by some truly unexpected news coming out of the locker room. It is a stark reminder that in this league, the roster is never truly settled, and the landscape can change in a heartbeat. While we are busy breaking down the film on these new arrivals and what they mean for the upcoming season, there is a dark cloud hanging over the offensive line room that has caught everyone off guard. I spoke to a source close to the situation who described the mood in the building as stunned when the news broke. We were expecting a busy day of transactions, but nobody, and I mean nobody, anticipated that we would be losing a key veteran piece of the line to retirement. It forces us to ask, how does a team balance the excitement of adding new talent while simultaneously dealing with the sudden, quiet departure of a foundational player? This is the reality of the modern NFL. It is a brutal, unforgiving business where personal decisions can completely derail a well-thought-out plan in a single afternoon. As we process these arrivals, we have to address the void that has just opened up on the offensive front, and the timing could not be worse for a group that was already under the microscope of the fans and media alike.
If you want to keep getting exclusive insights like this, subscribe now and join our community. Your support is what allows us to keep digging into these stories and bringing you the truth from the inside.
The NFL is a game of attrition, but nothing quite prepares for a sudden retirement like the one we saw from Yosh Nijman. At just 30 years old, walking away from the game at this stage of a career is a major blow to the team's depth chart. When the news broke that Yosh Nijman was hanging up his cleats, it sent shockwaves through the organization. This is a guy who was expected to be a pillar for the offensive line, providing that veteran presence that is so hard to find in today's market. You look at the construction of this offensive line and you realize that he was supposed to be the safety net. Now that net is gone, and the front office is forced to pivot on a dime. This isn't just about losing a player, it is about losing the flexibility that he provided. When you lose a tackle of his caliber, it changes the entire geometry of your protection schemes. You are now forced to rely on younger, less experienced players to step up into roles they might not be ready for. From a tactical standpoint, this is a nightmare for the coaching staff. They have to re-evaluate their entire blocking philosophy for the upcoming season. Are they going to be more conservative? Are they going to have to invest more draft capital into the position? These are the questions that keep general managers up at night. I have been covering this team for a long time, and I have seen many players walk away, but this one feels different because of the timing. We are in the thick of free agency, a time when every single roster spot is being evaluated with extreme precision. To lose a veteran tackle right now leaves a gaping hole that is extremely expensive to fill. You can't just go out and find a replacement of his quality on the open market without paying a premium. This move ripples through the entire team, affecting how the quarterback handles pressure and how the running game is designed to function. It is a massive adjustment, and it puts even more pressure on the guys who are currently on the roster to prove that they belong in the starting lineup. Fans are rightfully concerned, but I have been told that the team was already working behind the scenes to address this gap.
They are looking at every available option, and they are not ruling anything out. The question now becomes, how do they fix this massive hole without sacrificing the progress they have made in other areas? It is a delicate balance. You have to fill the position, but you also have to manage your resources wisely. And that brings us to the most critical piece of the puzzle, the money. Because even in the face of this unexpected retirement, the front office has managed to pull off a financial masterclass that has everyone in the league office talking.
It is not often that you see a team navigate such a turbulent week and come out the other side with more financial flexibility than they started with, but that is exactly what we are seeing here. Liberating over $13 million in cap space is a significant move that changes the entire outlook for the remainder of the offseason. This is not a coincidence, it is a calculated strategy. The leadership has been working tirelessly to restructure contracts and optimize the cap, and the result is a war chest that gives them genuine leverage. When you look at the landscape of the league, having that kind of liquidity at this stage is a luxury that most teams simply do not have. This is the kind of move that wins games in the long run. It allows you to be opportunistic. If a player becomes available, or if you need to make a move to cover a position of need, like the one we just lost to retirement, you now have the ability to make a competitive offer without jeopardizing the team's long-term health. The intelligence behind these maneuvers is what separates the good front offices from the great ones. They are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. By clearing this space, they have effectively bought themselves options. They can look at the veteran market, they can look at potential trade targets, or they can simply hold on to that space to provide a cushion for the season. My sources tell me that this move was a long time in the making, a result of deep analytical dives into every single contract on the books. It is not just about clearing space, it is about creating a structure that allows for sustained success. The impact of this on the morale of the organization cannot be overstated. When the players see that the front office is willing to make these tough calls to ensure the team remains competitive, it builds trust. It shows that there is a plan and that the plan is being executed with precision. This is a decisive moment. With the roster in flux and the financial picture finally becoming clear, the team is now positioned to make a serious push. The question is, what will they do with this newfound freedom? Will they be aggressive and go after a high-profile target, or will they take a more measured approach and focus on depth? Regardless, the team is in a much stronger position than they were just a few days ago. The combination of these new signings, the unexpected departure, and this massive influx of cap space creates a fascinating narrative. We are watching the foundation of a new era being laid, and it is going to be incredibly interesting to see how it all plays out on the field when the season kicks off. This is a pivotal moment for the franchise. We have seen a flurry of activity that has transformed the roster, tested the team's resilience, and cleared the way for future flexibility. The moves made over the last few days are bold, and they show a front office that is not afraid to take risks to improve the product on the field. Now, I want to hear from you. With all these changes, how do you feel about the direction of the team? Are you optimistic about these new faces, or are you worried about the depth issues caused by the sudden departures? Let me know in the comments below. Let us keep this conversation going. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.